Hey everyone, Hurricane Liz here, back for another video, and this time we're going to take a look at which Valentine's books are hot so that we can already prepare for next time around. Now, if you haven't already gotten your Valentine's book out, then it's probably not a good idea to do one because as of right now, we only have about 3 weeks. That's definitely not enough to create the book and or even market the book. So if you haven't done one, then I'm sorry, it's a little too late. However, the purpose of this video is so that you can prepare for next year whenever you feel like it. So that's the fantastic part. And so today we will not only explore which niche within Valentine's book is hot, but also what themes are selling like fire right now. So I am super fired up. My cat is definitely not fired up, but we're still gonna do this. All right, so I'm on my screen share here, and let's start taking a look at what we see. So first and foremost, obviously this ugly unicorn is at the top of the charts. And people are liking him, so I might be wrong. He might not be that ugly, but he's a coloring book for kids. So obviously coloring books are always going to be fire. They're always going to sell. You just have to be able to have a good artist and a good cover. And for some reason, people just love that one. Now here's another book, and this is just a general book, but I still always like to look at general books anyways to see how they're doing. This one has a theme of 3 little raccoons sitting around eating some cake, some snacks, and sharing some cards. Now, you know those raccoons, those sneaky little bastards, you know that they obviously stole all that food and they're having a feast with crap they picked up out of the garbage can. But either way, I don't actually know why this is selling so well, other than the fact that the drawings are really good and the cover's really cute. So that's possibly why it's selling extremely well, but it's doing very well. It is a board book. However, just look at the theme itself. Raccoons with the cards. As I said before, I'm assuming they stole all the food that they're eating, but you know, who knows? Maybe they've got jobs. Maybe they're working hard for their money and I'm just profiling them and I shouldn't be. So let's just leave it at that. But they are some cute little bastards. Look at them. All right, so let's keep going. Next thing you'll notice is right here, the dot markers theme. We've talked about this in a previous video. Dot markers are fire right now. So I would certainly do that for any holiday. We've got Easter coming up, so I would think about that. And we got St. Patrick's Day, and pretty much anybody and everybody is doing dot marker books, but they are selling extremely well. This one is just a flat out dot markers activity book. And if we scroll on down, here is some more dot marker activity books. So this is a Valentine's Day with simple dot markers activity book. Again, it's got like an elephant and a bear. And then we've got here a bubblegum machine that's Valentine's Day dot marker book for toddlers. So this one goes even a step further and it niches this down, which we've talked about in a previous video. And this clearly tells you this is a dot marker coloring book for toddlers, which almost means like you can just throw a shape on there because a toddler's never going to be able to stay in the lines, even with a bingo dauber that their grandma uses. It's just game over there. So you can almost make this the most basic coloring book in the world for toddlers, and it would work because, as I said before, toddlers don't know their hand from their butt, and they will be using that bingo dauber just about everywhere, not just the coloring book. So they're going to miss every possible square or circle that you put in that bingo dauber book. And again, no surprise that it's doing well. Here's another activity book with a bunch of weird looking bunnies and bears that looks like they are on some kind of drug. But these bunnies have gigantic eyes and they're creepy. They're creepy, but it's still selling well. So again, just goes to show that if you can put a couple of weird looking clip art creatures or hire somebody to put these things together and toss them on front of a book, you might just do well for Valentine's Day or any special holiday. So again, here's another I Dot You Dauber book, which is doing very well as it's on the Hot 100. And then a big Valentine's Day activity book. Specifically, it's a toddler coloring book with a lion that says I love you on it. So not too shabby. And then here's another great one. This is a Valentine's Day coloring book for boys. So now it goes again and further niches it down and makes it very specifically for boys, and even puts like really boy stuff on there, like trucks and robots and tractors and dinosaurs. So it makes it very clear that it's for boys. You can obviously do this for girls. You can do this for toddlers, as we've already seen. And there's a lot of way that you can further subdivide that and make it for different people. Now here's another Valentine's Day coloring book for kids with some kitties and wings and that are kissing each other on the mouth. Very cute. Obviously selling. Cats get fired up about it. We've seen that there's some cat fans of this channel. Obviously they're going to be ranting and raving about that book, and sorry to all the cat moms out there who might have to buy it for their cat. I apologize in advance. All right, here's the I Spy version. I Spy always sells well no matter what holiday it is, so you definitely want to try and put one of those in your repertoire. I still to this day do not know what an I Spy book, so if somebody wants to take the time to explain it to me in the comments, I would be very appreciative, but I really don't know what it was. At first, I thought it had like a trademark. It was something like Animal Crossings or something of that nature, but it's not. So if somebody can explain that, I would greatly appreciate that. And then we've got, again, another I Spy with My Little Eyes. And again, those work out extremely well. I just haven't figured out exactly what they are. And here's another Valentine's activity book for kids ages 3 to 8. So again, it kind of further niches it down and it tells people very specifically that it's for kids ages 3 to 8. So this is what I'm talking about with getting specific with your books so that you further niche down who they're selling for. All right, here's a Valentine's Day animal coloring book for kids. So it very specifically says, hey, this Valentine's Day book is for animal lovers. And again, this one is not a very good cover, but it's doing really well. And I think the reason it's doing well is because the animal theme, as we've talked about in previous videos, is excellent and it's doing extremely well. So this coloring book, despite the fact that I think it has a terrible cover, I think a lot of you could do much better than that. It's still doing extremely well as a result. And then we have a Valentine's Day coloring book for kids, which again, we've seen that pretty often. That's certainly a theme that's still working, but it's going to be a lot more competitive when you don't niche it down. Just like this Valentine's Day activity book for kids. It doesn't give you any ages, but it does have a couple cute bears sharing a heart. It might be a cool idea to have a couple cool Valentine's activity books for adults with a couple cute bears sharing a beer. So Bears with Beer, there's the name of it, Bears with Beer would be a great one on Valentine's Day. There's nothing better than a bear and some beer. And you throw in a pizza in a heart shape and you got yourself a bestseller on your hands. And then here's one that I really liked a lot. We talked about this. We talked about the fact that not a lot of people have done scissor skills for holidays, but this is a Valentine's Day scissor skills cut and paste. And the other thing that I love about this one is that it further even talks about this is a workbook for kids ages 3 to 8. So not only did they do a scissor skill thing, but they also specifically called out which group of kids it's for, which again further niches it down. And parents love that shit because now they don't have to guess like, would this book work out for my kid or not? Because it very specifically tells them, hey, if your kid's 3 to 8, this book is for you. So LDO, right? LDO. Parents of the world out there. And let's keep going. Valentine Animals Coloring Book for Toddlers. So this is fantastic. Again, it's an animals coloring book for Valentine's Day, which we talked about the animal theme being very hot. And then on top of that, it's for toddlers. So let's click into this because I think they did a fantastic job. And the other thing, it's priced at $9.99. And who doesn't love a commando deer? Like, come on, this deer's got a headband. He looks like he's Rambo, followed with this bear with the little Indian thing on his head. And like, these guys are out to hunt. Like, put some guns in these guys' hand and now you got a party, right? Yeah, so that's the Valentine's Animal Commando book on top of that. So they could have put it for toddler boys and it would have probably sold a lot better. Again, another I Spy Valentine's Day book for kids. It looks like it's doing really well. Slap a couple pandas on there and you got a bestseller on your hand. And then here's a jumbo Valentine's Day coloring book for kids. So they clearly state that it's a jumbo one, which again, makes it a little bit more unique than the rest of them out there. And the term jumbo just makes parents feel like a warm, cozy feeling inside, knowing that they're buying their 2 to 5 year old kids a big, gigantic book instead of a little skinny book. Because, you know, we like books with meat on them. They're the best. Those extra thick books. And then lastly, here's one that's called Love is in the Air. Valentine coloring book for, I'm not sure exactly what it's for, but the thing I like about this one is it kind of has an air theme with some air balloons and some planes and some blimps and stuff like that. But the other thing is there's a very famous song that's back in the day, I think it was Barry Manilow. I don't even know how I know that, but it's Love is in the Air. And you can almost do this with any other somewhat popular song, not exactly copy it. And I'm not giving you guys advice as an attorney or anything. I'm saying like you could potentially get away with it or you could not. So again, don't take my advice like I'm an attorney, but check with your attorney if you're not certain about it. Here's again another I Spy book. And then lastly, Valentine's Day coloring book for kids with a couple bears sharing a couple hearts when I think instead they should be sharing a couple beers. And then again, the ABCs of Valentine's Day coloring book with some hippos. Who doesn't like hippos on Valentine's Day? This one's kind of interesting because it further goes on the theme of subdividing things by making it the ABCs of Valentine's Day. And that looks like that rounds up the hot niches for Valentine's Day that are crushing it this year in 2021. So they might be guaranteed to be crushing it in 2022. The only theme that could change is the dot markers. There could be a brand new theme that's even more exciting, or they could just die out and people get sick of grabbing their grandma's daubers. So other than that, if you guys have questions or comments, post them below. I always personally answer them, and I'll see you in the next video.